You can never act opposite to what you believe. Every result that you're having in your life today can change if you change your belief. Guys, today I want to talk about the blueprint for transformation. The blueprint for transformation. To succeed in life, you need to understand the blueprint for success. If you want to transform a nation, like we want to build Southern Cameroon, or you call it Ambazonia, have everything that we want within our nation, there is a blueprint. And that is why I lay emphasis on this, because there is a blueprint. The reason is because if you fail to acknowledge, identify, practice, and use the right blueprint, you will fail, no matter how determined you are. Because people think if I'm determined, I'll succeed. No, determination alone is not enough. Do you have the right blueprint? It's like somebody starting a business, have no clue about that business, no mentors to help them through their journey in that business. No matter how hard they try, waking up in the morning, doing the right things every day, they will fail if they don't have the blueprint. I've talked countless times about the fly strategy. The fly strategy is the strategy coined out by an American author in his book about the strategy that flies use. And most people use the fly strategy today. And if you see in the whole Ambazonia movement, there is a lot of fly strategies that are being applied. And that is why we don't get the results. We don't see liberation. Our people are not freed. And we think if we continue for the next 10, 15 years, then you achieve your result. And that, by definition, is a failure. Okay, this is the thing. So the goal of the fly is to go outside. And now the fly sees this glass window, and the fly wants to go through that glass window. There are various ways you can go through that glass window. There is a wide door open that fly can just move a few inches from that window. It will fly through that door and go outside. But the fly has determined that it will go through that window. And in spite of every obstacle, the fly is determined. I want to ask you a question. You think if that fly stays on that window for 10 or 20 years, do you think that fly will ever go out? The answer is definitely no. And that is why you see most of them die, and you can find them on the window pane, because they never make it to their destination. So the reason why I'm talking about the blueprint for transformation is because if you don't have the right blueprint, you will be mad, you will be angry, you will cry, you will pray to God, you will say all sorts of things, but yet you will not get that result, which is very, very important. Because once I figure this out, everything that I'm teaching you here is based on principles, which is number one here. I'll get to it very soon. And that's why no one can argue me. You cannot defeat the knowledge that I'm pouring on this channel, because they are all based on principles. Why? Because I study books, I study history, I study great people, I ask questions, I have great friends. And so with that, you have this blueprint. So when I realized this, everything in my life changed. Everything. And everything that I will do in my life, I will experience a certain degree of success no matter what stands on my way, because I'm following this blueprint. So I want to give it to you today for free. The blueprint for transformation. The number one blueprint for transformation is to understand principles. Write that down. Principles. Principles are called first law. To go fight a war and win, you need to understand the principles of war. In order for you to succeed, you need to understand what? Principles. They are very important. For example, say I want to go fight a war. I think maybe if I just pull people together, we are determined, we buy guns, we go out there, we will win. But that is not the case, because many people going out to fight war, if you've seen all the wars that have been fought throughout history, many people starting wars, they always get allies. Allies are friends. Like when you hear about the First World War, the Second World War, the reason why those people made it is because they had other countries that was with them in the very beginning before they even started the war. So with that, they know that even if we run short of materials, guess what? These allies will come to my aid. And so if you don't have that, you will fail. Okay? If you want to start a business, you need allies. Allies might be a bank, might be someone who has a skill in a certain department that you need their expertise for that business to succeed. So those are all allies. In a family, you want to succeed, what do you need? You need mom, you need dad, you need brothers, you need sisters, you need uncles. All those people will help you. There are little money that they chip in at some point to help you. Those are all allies. Those are people that are helping you to succeed in life. So if you fail to understand principles, then you will fail in every other thing you do. So you violated the first blueprint for transformation. So what are principles? First laws. And what does that even mean? For instance, if you have corn and your goal is to be able to cultivate corn and grow corn and have food out of corn, there are first principles to that process. Number one, you need soil and you need water. Without soil and water, you can never grow corn. And so if you think I'm praying hard, I will try, I will do all I can, corn will not grow if you don't have water and you don't have soil. So soil and water is the first principle that you need to cultivate corn. I hope this is sinking. Okay, so that's it. Okay, then the next thing is laws. When we identify the first principles, the next step is to enact that first principle into law. Like if you pick any book on agriculture and read, if you want to cultivate corn, which is the example I'm using, the law is get soil and get water. Am I making sense? Yes, get soil and get water. So we write that down. That is the next step. So laws help you to succeed in whatever you do. The failure to observe and obey laws indicates that you will fail in whatever you do. And if you see like the Ambazonia movement right now, everyone is speculating. Everyone reads whatever they think they are reading, and they feel like it's a strategy for people to succeed. Oh, maybe the chiefs now should become the council. The chiefs now should become these agents within our government. And all of this confusion. Oh, the chiefs should not participate in politics. Oh, the chiefs have a voice in politics. Oh, they do not have a voice. All this confusion is because we don't understand how to establish laws. And the reason why we don't know how to establish laws is because we have not identified principles. We haven't studied and identified principles. And that is why. So then the next stage will be command. When you have a law, the next thing is to proclaim or decree that law. And that is a command. You will now say it. I use the Bible a lot because the Bible is quite an interesting book, and God wrote that book for us for a purpose. And if you look at the whole Bible, there is a 10 commandments. The 10 commandments. Every country on planet built their laws on the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. All of those commandments are very essential for the foundation of any economy, every country, every family, every relationship. When you apply those 10 commandments, you have a smooth and interesting relationship. And failure to do so, would you like a friend that steals? Definitely not. Would you like a friend that cheats on the wife? Definitely not. So all of those laws are essential for our well-being. So it is very, very important that you understand that. So command is when you proclaim them. For instance, say my father used to distribute work among us, and he would say, oh, your job is to clean the dish. Oh, your job is to sweep the yard. Your job is to mop the floor. And he gives that command. He gives that command, right? He gives that law. That is a law. It's a principle. We want a clean house. Do you want a clean house? Everybody wants a clean house. Obviously, you want a clean house. So he would say, this is the principle. The principle is we want a clean house. A clean house is good. It's good for our well-being. It's good for us to live long. It's good for us to enjoy the environment that we live in. So he says, okay, I will put a law. And the law is you wash the dish, you sweep the yard, and you mop the floor. And so with that, he put it into law. Now, the job of my mom was to enforce that law. And so what mom did was give a command. And what is that command? That command is, you have not yet cleaned the dishes. Can you go do that? And if you say no, and she will say, I will tell dad that you haven't cleaned the dishes when he returns. And guess what? We'll be forced to go do that. Why? Because we don't want to get whooped. Because dad is going to whoop you if you don't clean the dishes. Are you following with me? So she's given a command. So when Moses went to God, there were principles that were laid down. And those principles were written on a tablet. So when it's written, we said it is a law. It was written on a tablet that this is what you guys need to do in order to develop this new nation called Israel that I'm creating. And so God gave them 10 commandments. And today, if you want to create a beautiful and amazing Cameroon that you want to live in, we will need to go back to the drawing board and look at the laws that governs the success of that nation. And failure to identify the laws that will help us to succeed, it indicates that we will keep trying and never understand why we are not making progress. And so he came down with the laws. What did Moses do? He proclaimed those laws. He gave a command to the people that this is what God instructs you guys to do, because if you do what God is saying you should do, you are guaranteed to succeed no matter the obstacles that come your way. Is this making sense? Sure, it is. Then the next thing is tradition. This is quite an interesting word because we have customs and tradition, and we say these words interchangeably without necessarily understanding what they mean. Tradition. So what is tradition? Tradition is simply people's experience with law. People's experience in law becomes tradition. If you see this word tradition, there is a word trade, which means when people experience law, they think it's a good thing, now they transfer it to their children. Does that make sense? They transfer the traditions to their children. Say we distribute labor, like I just outlined as to what my father did with us, and we realized that it was a good idea. What do? We say, oh, if I get married, of which I am right now, and then I have kids, of which I do right now, the next thing is to let my kids know it is important to get up, clean your dishes, sweep the yard, and mop the floor. That becomes a tradition. I don't even need to go back to principles. I don't need to even go back to laws. I just have to emulate what I grew up learning, what I grew up doing, which I felt was a good thing for everybody. So now that becomes a tradition. The important thing for us to take note of here before we go over there is you don't transfer traditions to your children, because some traditions might be wrong. Some traditions might be valuable in a particular time in history, but as we evolve, you have to change those traditions because they might not be needed in this dispensation where we find ourselves. A story that I want to use to drive this point home is there was a young lady. She watched a friend cut a piece of meat and throw it in the trash before she cooked meat. And that lady looked at it. It was weird for her because that was not what she was doing in her home. So she asked the question, why is it that you cut a piece of meat and throw it away? She said, I don't know. I grew up seeing my mom cut a piece of meat and throw it in the trash before she cooks. So I thought it was a good idea. So I did it. She said, can we go ask your mom? She said, of course, why not? They went to ask the mom. Mom, why is it that every time you want to cook a piece or you want to cook meat, you're going to cut a piece and then you throw it in the trash? And the mom said, I don't know. I grew up seeing my mom doing it, so I just do it. And lucky enough, grandma was alive. So they went to grandma and they asked grandma, why is it that every time you want to cook meat, you cut a piece of it and throw it in the trash? And grandma said, in those days, when you have a chunk of meat and it's too big, because sometimes the cows will fall, and so we just have to kill them. And so the meat was too much, and we didn't have any preservation system. Since we didn't have a refrigerator, we didn't know how to use salt to preserve the meat, and so we will throw a piece of that meat away. And so that became a tradition. So my question to you is, do you think that tradition should still be practiced when people have fridge, understand how to use salt to preserve meat? Obviously no. So this is why I want you to challenge every tradition that was transferred to you, that you call it tradition and customs, Okay, maybe it was getting married to 2 or many wives, and you think it was a good idea. And today some people are like, it's our tradition. We should marry 2 wives. We should marry many wives. Why should we marry many wives? It is a very important question. Or maybe before we cook chicken, we shouldn't cut it. We should just cook it like that without even killing the chicken. Why do we have all these traditions? We have to question them. The reason why I'm saying all those things is because in the case where people got married to many wives, is because it was an economic strategy. That is, if I have many wives, that means I'll have many children. And if I have many children, that means we can be able to produce more. We can go to the farm, we can farm more, and so we can come back home with more food because we have a huge family. So many people back in the days used to marry many wives because why? People were self-dependent. People were self-reliant. That is, they didn't understand how partnership works. Today in this global economy that we have multiple opportunities to partner with people and build businesses, or participate in agriculture, do you think you should still have many wives? Or we have machines that go out there and actually till the soil for us? Do you think it is necessary having many wives? Obviously no. But guess what? Many people think it is their tradition. Their parents did it, their great-grandparents did it, and so they will never change. And that is why I make these videos. Because if you come from Cameroon, we have certain traditions, certain ways of life, that it is time for us to question them. Because if we are not enlightened, if we don't think, if we don't analyze and assess situations like this, or look at the traditions that we hold so strong, why is it that we dance this way? Why is it that we talk this way? Why is it that we perform certain rituals? If we do not ask those questions, we will be backward while the world is moving forward. And the reason is because we fail to identify laws and not tradition. Why were they doing what they were doing? And is it even necessary right now? Okay? But for instance, we have chiefs and fawns, and in those days, chiefs and fawns were really rulers. What you term modern politics today, they were engaged in modern politics. They will look at the political situation of their village and say, this is the strategy that we should use. Today, we are politicians. And these politicians, some of them have studied. We have leaders. Some of these leaders have studied. They understand what works. And guess what? These leaders cannot really maneuver the economy. They cannot move within the territory and bring about development. Why? Because we want those chiefs and fawns to be there. We like them, we love them, we want them to be there, but we don't understand the function that they are playing in society, and if they are hindering development, I mean, of which some of them are. You get what I'm saying? So that is what we should look at if we want transformation. Understand principles, understand laws, understand commands, and understand tradition. Again, I want to emphasize that what you should transfer to your children is law. Because somebody will say, thou shalt not steal. And then they went ahead and they steal. And they say, okay, I'll steal when it's convenient. Maybe when I don't have money. And then if there are children looking at what their parents are doing, my question for you is, should that be a tradition in that family? That when it is convenient, steal. When it is convenient, lie. No. You transfer the laws, thou shalt not steal, to your children, so that they can be able to form new traditions out of that law. Okay? So there are many laws that our parents made based on their local environment where they found themselves at that time. Today, you've grown and realized, like, oh, there was a time people used to think that the world was round or the world was flat. Now, understanding that the world is spherical, you have to understand that some things need to change. Some things need to change because why? This is not how we see the world today. Why? Because science has evolved. And in that evolutionary process, we've understood what the world really looks like today. And so certain traditions need to go away. And I talk about this because I was talking about unity in Northwest, and I thought maybe this graph will help us much because why we are not achieving unity is because of tribalism. Tribalism is one of the reasons why we are not achieving unity. And at the head of these tribes is chiefs and fawns. And they hold certain beliefs, of which I will get to, that are actually enforced in us And because of that, we are not united, and so we cannot succeed. And so I'm looking at the root cause of the problem. People like to look at the surface cause of a problem, or just look at the global cause of a problem. No, I look at the root cause of the problem. And I'm identifying that if you hold certain beliefs and you give instructions to the people and they follow those instructions, it governs their lives. Okay? So we have to start questioning some of these things that we've seen growing up, and we're asking ourselves, how is it helping us? How is it helping us get food? How is it helping us to live a good life? How is it helping us to be prosperous and successful, which is what every human being should thrive for? So the next thing I would like to talk about in this second column is for you to understand all of these words you see right here. Because if you understand these words, it will help you to understand principles, laws, commands, and traditions, which will eventually change everything in your life. So the blueprint of transformation is for you to understand all of these things that I'm teaching. So now, the question I'll ask for you is, everything I've said right here, does it make sense? Of course it does. So the next question I'll ask you, do you know now what I'm telling you? Because the first step to transformation is to know. The first step to understanding business is to know. The first step is to know. Now, after you assume that you know, the next question is, do you understand? Do you comprehend? Do you grasp what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to know. Yes, I know I should clean my dresses. But do I understand the importance of cleaning my dresses or cleaning my clothes? So the next thing is to understand. I understand, because when you understand, the next thing is that you apply. You get up and actually do something to wash your clothes. So you apply. And then the last is practice. Practice now is saying, I am consistent with it. I'm making it a lifestyle. When we hear, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, it is a law from the word of God. And that is why I don't agree with wars. I don't think anyone should die. Because why? The first law says, thou shalt not kill. So if you kill, what have you done? You violated a law. You can go throughout the whole Bible and say, oh, at this point people went and killed. At this point in history people killed. The fact that people killed doesn't justify killing. It doesn't justify killing. Thou shalt not kill. It is a law. Does that make sense? Are you guys picking what I'm putting on the ground? Obviously we are. So you apply that. And then most importantly, practice it. If I know that I should clean my clothes, you know that. You know that you should go out there and walk. You know that. But if you say, oh, I'll walk on Mondays, I'll walk on Tuesday, I'll walk on Wednesdays, maybe Thursday or Friday, I don't walk. You are applying, but you're not practicing it. You know you should go to work Mondays to Saturday. Go do something with your life. And so practicing it is making it a lifestyle. When you make building a business a lifestyle, when you make raising your kids a lifestyle, every day I get up, I'll clean them up, take them to daycare or send them to school. It is a lifestyle, and that lifestyle, that is what God wants for us, that we make his laws our lifestyle. You are guaranteed to succeed if you obey laws. People who fail in business is because they don't understand the laws of business. People who fail in life is because they don't understand the laws of how to live a good life. And at the end of the day, do you know what people will say? Oh, some people are born to succeed, while others are not. Some people are smarter than others, while others are not. Everyone was born to excel in a certain area. You might not have just found what you are good at, but that doesn't indicate that you were born in this world to be a failure. Because once you get it, once you understand what you're really good at and you excel at it, you are guaranteed to succeed. So it is very important that you know what I'm just saying right now. It is very important that you understand what I'm saying to you right now. It is very important that you apply what I'm saying to you right now. And it's very, very important, most importantly, practice. Make it a lifestyle. Wake up early. Tell the truth. Do not kill. Do not lie. Be an upright human being. This, you will succeed no matter the obstacle that stands on your way. I'm telling you, because someone was saying we don't know tomorrow. The reason why we don't know tomorrow is because we don't understand laws, we don't understand principles, we don't understand commands. I know how my tomorrow will look like. I know how life will unfold for me. That is the power that you possess to decree, command, and say what you think the outcome of your life will look like. And you do that by understanding principles that guarantees people living long, guarantees people living healthy and strong, guarantees someone succeeding in business, guarantees running a successful country, building a nation. If you don't understand principles, you fail. You don't understand, like, oh, is this how we should tax people? Is this how we should? No, when all of that confusion is coming up, is because people don't understand principles and exactly what they want out of an incident. Like, if you really want to succeed, say building a country, you have to understand different aspects of what it takes to develop a nation. And these are things that I've been studying for a very long time. And everything I'm saying, they are principles, they are laws, they are commands, they are facts. But most importantly, they are embedded. There's the substratum of the ideas that I am teaching you. They are coming out of principles. And anyone who knows principles will always win over someone who knows facts. Facts is history. That's why you hear somebody quote history. Oh, in 1961, this happened. Oh, in 1960, this happened. They can quote all of those facts. They can recite all of those facts. They can speak to you and you believe that they know something because they can regurgitate those facts. But the question is, do you understand the principle that will ensure transformation in this current situation that we are dealing with? That's very important. And then the next thing we'll look at is beliefs, thought, actions, and results. Now, belief is what you have consciously, that is, you have it in your mind, that idea as truth. Whatever idea you have in your head as truth is a belief. It is as simple as that. Whatever thought, whatever idea that you have in your head as truth is belief. You believe in that idea, and that is why you hold it. You can have some thoughts or words and ideas in your head that you don't hold as truth, but you know them. There are some people, you don't like them, you don't hold them in your head as upright people, right? But you have them in your head. But once you believe that it is true in your head, in your brain, that is a belief. And then the next thing is thought. When you believe something, you will think about that thing. And so if you believe that doing business, if you believe that establishing a country, if you believe that whatever that belief is, believe about achieving your dreams or going out to search for your good wife, what does that even mean for you? What is your belief about a good woman? What is your belief about a good man? So all of those beliefs, you will think on them. And the next thing is they will guide your actions. When you go out there, you will act in accordance with your belief. You can never act opposite to what you believe. Every result that you're having in your life today can change if you change your belief. I'm telling you, no matter who you admire in this world and look at their life and feel like you can never achieve what they've achieved, if you change this one thing, every other thing is going to align. Changing your belief is paramount to guaranteeing you being successful in life. And so that is why I teach all of these 12 foundations, because if you understand this, there is no way for you to fail. You get up every day, you keep coming to this video, keep listening to this video, keep understanding, try to understand all the things that I'm teaching here, because this foundation is what guides my life. This foundation is what guides the most successful people on earth. And that is why I say the keys to national development, because this will help you develop a country, develop your community, develop a business, and develop your life. So you can never act, like I said, you can never act in antithesis to your beliefs. And that is why you see some people stuck on some ideas like, we will fight for 20 years till we get Ambazonia. And why? Because it's a belief that they hold in their head. And some people will realize at some point, oh, let me think. I don't just want to talk. I want to think. Because if someone comes right under my post right now and writes something, oh, you black leg, oh, you are a lot of public. immediately I know where they got that from. It is not an original thought they developed. Someone in the group that is their leader that they are following said those things. And so they picked it up. And that's why I encourage everyone coming on this platform to be a thinker. If you cannot think, just unsubscribe and go. There are many other channels you can go watch and grab information from. This one is not for you. This is stronger than you. There will be a time for you to get here, but not now. So because you have a strong belief that even if it is failing, you keep going till you die. And I'll just tell you, good luck. I wish you the best. So you can never act in opposite to your belief. You can never act in antithesis to your belief. And so when you act, what do you end up with? Results. You're producing results every day. The kind of results you're producing in your marriage. Is it what you want? If it's not, you have to come back here and change your beliefs about marriage. Your beliefs about having a good marriage, most importantly. If you're not succeeding in your business right now, or maybe you got fired from your job, or maybe you feel like people don't like you, you're having problems with friends, you have to come back here to understand, like, what is my belief about business? What do I hold in my head about business, about conducting business? You come back to this belief. And when you have the right belief, you think on it, you act on it, and you will get different results. And so every time you have a gridlock or you feel like things are, you're stuck in life, you come back to the belief. What do I believe about this? And is it affecting me in the way that I want? Am I getting the results that I want? And when you start asking those questions, that is why I respect those who ask good questions. If you come under this post and you really share a grievance that are deemed this individual things, I'm like, okay, I start evaluating what I'm doing. But if someone comes and just throw an insult, I understand they've refused to use their brain. So it is important for us to understand that when you have new beliefs, which is what I'm trying to do for us, to make sure that first we get new beliefs. We can have the government come down and close the whole Ambazonian movement, or just kill all the restoration forces or the Ambazonian forces. At the end of the day, you might participate or collaborate with that. I don't know where you stand. But I believe that everyone is useful. Thou shalt not kill. Don't kill anyone for whatever reason. And these people, like I'm saying, again, but I say if someone comes and threatens you in your home, I encourage everybody get your gun and you stay alive. If they refuse to think, don't let them be an obstacle and cut your life short. I say fight them. And I'm also training you guys here on Krav Maga how to protect yourself and defend yourself. It is very important. But you don't sit and meditate in your heart to go look for someone out there and kill them for no good reason, or because you feel like they don't agree with you. That is absurd. So what I'm saying is, you stay your lane, you're strong, I'm confident. I say all this, I'm strong, I'm confident. I know who I am, and I'm guarding my territory. And if someone infiltrates my territory, I'm going to put them to order. And it's under those circumstances that some people will go into the Bible and say, oh, but in this stage, God instructed the people of Israel to go kill. Yes, it was necessary because these people was intruding their environment. They were intruding their privacy. If somebody comes in your house and they're trying to kill you, stay alive and you know what to do. So that's what I'm saying. So the whole premise is to change our beliefs so we can get different results. Change your belief about money, you get different results. Change your beliefs about business, you get different results. Change your belief about marriage, you get different results. Change your beliefs about friendships, you get a different result. It is very, very important that you understand this. And then the last thing I'll say, and then I'll leave you guys, is you will need people in life no matter what you do. You need relationships in life no matter what you do. Okay? And so it's important for you to understand the kind of relationships that you keep around you. And is it helping you to succeed, or are these relationships helping you to fail? It is important that you take that. So there are three types of friends. The number one type of friend is called a confidant. A confidant is that kind of a friend that will be there for you no matter what happens. They are your friends. In this Ambazonian struggle, and in this English-speaking Cameroon struggle, there are those who are your confidants. They will not betray you. They will not fail you. In life, when you want to succeed in business, you need a confidant. And if you have 2 or 3 of this in a lifetime, you are a blessed person. Because why? They will be there for you. They are the kind of people that you don't need to show off. You don't need to try to please them. Because why? They got you. They know you. They like you. In spite of your flaws and your shortcomings, they are there with you. Those are confidence. They are rare. Like I said, if you have 2 or 3 in a lifetime, you are a blessed man. The number 2 is constituents. Constituents are people that are for what you are for. That is, if you have a dream, a vision, you want to build a company, they are there for you to build that company. Some of them have skills, and so they share similar vision with you to help that company grow. They are your constituents. They are there for you. They are for what you are for. And so guess what? Building this amazing conglomerate is a good idea. And so they stand with you. One thing that you should understand is that confident and that constituent is not in that battle with you or in that mission with you because they are for you. They are for you, but they are really for the vision. So if they see someone else that will help them foster their agenda in life, they will leave you. So constituents are for what you are for. But if they meet someone along the line that will give them a better promise, show them a better path, they are going to leave you. Or if they meet someone that can help them facilitate their dreams, their goals, they are going to leave you. So that is a constituent. It is very, very important that you distinguish your associations. I repeat, it is important that you distinguish your associations so that you can be able to make the maximum use of your life and your time. And then the last is comrades. Comrades are people that are against what you are against. That is a third group of friends. They are against anything that you are against. And you might think that, oh, comrades, like you hear in politics. Right now you hear most politicians, they say comrade, 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 comrade. Some people call it comrade, is comrade or comrade, however. So that is it. So they call them comrades. So the comrades are against anything that you are against. And so you might be like in the Ambazonia movement, most people have comrades. Most politicians or people involved in politics, they always have comrades. They'll call themselves comrades. They are against something. So you should be mindful. They will gossip with you. Most of the comrades always share negative sentiments because why? They are against someone. They are against a political party. They are against a government. They are against a system. So they will always be involved in that loop of negativity or sharing some negative side of their opponent so that they can understand. So people will come together and fight an opponent, someone that they are against. It doesn't mean that they are for you. They are against what you are against. And after, they are like scaffoldings, right? When you are building a house, you have scaffoldings, And so when the house is erected, what happened? The scaffolding falls off, you take it off, and then the house stands. So that is how comrades are. They are there with you to fight with you, but they are not for you. And so, so that is the thing that you should understand when it comes to choosing your affiliations or choosing your relationships in life. Guys, I want to ask you a question at this point. Have you had some value out of this video? Does what I'm saying, this blueprint for transformation, does it ring a bell? I want you to go apply it because they are the keys to national development. We will only build a better Cameroon and a better nation if we understand principles that guarantee success. Not facts, principles. Not facts, principles. Okay? So guys, I love you so much and I hope this session has been educative. Subscribe to this channel, share this video with a friend. Guys, we have a lot of good stuff for you and this is just the beginning. And so until next time, stay blessed. All right, if you like this video, you're gonna like this other episode and you can watch it by clicking right here.